going on, people? Welcome to the Play Rated Show. After our loss against Spurs, this should be interesting because it was, apart from the first 30 minutes, it was diabolical. So let's get into that. Let's start, obviously, at the keeper. What are you giving Onana? Because actually none of the goals were his fault. Distribution was good. There's not really much for him. Eh?
One of our better players across the whole 90 minutes. So I don't think anyone's really getting above him. I'm going to say a 6 because of his distribution. Wasn't at fault for any of the goals. I think a steady 6.
Yeah, we agree with that? Yeah, that's a nice, easy one, isn't it? Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give a 5. I felt as though sometimes he lost his man. But going forward, Wan-Bissaka has really improved. But yeah, a 5.
Yeah, I think a couple of times going in on Son, a bit too tight, got a silly yellow card, not really like him. Some decent moments of bringing the ball down and then playing out a bit, but it wasn't anything to write home about.
It wasn't anything to write home about, but I think to be fair, a lot of people used to get onto Wan-Bissaka, but he's become really a steady Eddie in our team. He doesn't really do much wrong. So yeah, I think 5.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Varane.
5. Didn't do nothing great. Yeah, 5. He had a good head on target, but other than that,
I would say Varane's a 6. He was arguably our biggest threat on goal.
There's not much difference between him. 6. I mean,
yeah,
but I'd probably say a 6, flat 6. He did okay, defensively okay. Had one dodgy moment where he pulled by Son.
He got turned in the middle. I think who was it? Faked
Son.
Him out. Yeah, Son. So I'm gonna say with 5 to be fair.
All right, so you got 5 here, 6 there. Yeah, not much in it, but I see both sides there. Martinez scored an own goal today.
Yeah. For me, Martinez can get a 4. Even the first goal we conceded, remember it was a deflection of him. And then, of course, the own goal. In fact, I would even say a 3 from Martinez.
Handing both goals, isn't it?
Yeah, and also he looked quite rash with some of the challenges he was going in for. So.
And if we're being honest, we big up Martinez all the time. The butcher, he's our guy. We love him. He's transformative. But he had to get taken off at half-time against Wolves. The second game in now, he's scored an own goal. And okay, the ball hit off him. It's unlucky, but I'm just saying, not a good first couple of games, is it?
I think a 3 is a bit harsh. I'll say 4. Yes, he was at fault. Not really at fault, but yeah, he scored an own goal, kind of unlucky, and the ball did hit off him, but he wasn't like shit. He wasn't terrible. Do you know what I mean? He did his job here and there. But I think majority of our issues today came in the forward line. So I'm gonna stick with 4 and then
Luke Shaw.
3. Terrible today. Going forward, yes, he did okay in bits, but defensively he
Put it on a plate for Bruno, mate.
Yeah, but in defense, he's a defender. Before anything, he's a defender, and defensively he was shocking today. On the first goal, was it the second goal? Left guard.
First one, yeah.
First goal. He should have came out to the who was on the right?
I think it's Kulusevski.
He should have came out to him. Didn't come out to him. I don't think he did anything well in defensively today. So
and the relationship with Garnacho is not there as well. Like they're just not on the same wavelength like he is when Rashi's there.
You can't have that as a left back that you can't link up with your with anyone on the left wing if it's not Rashford. It needs to be interchangeable. So I'm gonna say 3. Terrible today.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into midfield. Casemiro,
once again, he was diving into a lot of tackles today. I'm going to give him a 4. Yeah. I don't feel as though he was the main issue in our team. I feel as though there was players that were worse than him, but just not good enough. Even going forward, some of the passes he was making just not good enough.
Yeah, mate. Bissouma one time, who was it? Was it Maddison? Dropped the shoulder, or no, Bissouma megged him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then someone else turned him and he fell on the floor. Yeah. Look, we love Casemiro, but as this team's progressing, it's going to be interesting to see where, how we build this midfield with him still in it, basically. If we want to change the style of play, if we want to kick on to another level, because we bought him for 70 million. He was fantastic last year. We called him the best defensive midfielder in the league. Won 5 Champions Leagues, super player. But are we going to start going into a territory soon where what we're asking he can't do?
You might do, but you need to also remember he starts seasons off slow.
Yeah,
he needs to grow into it, and he is a quality midfielder. He still is a quality midfielder. And the narrative that he's getting, he can't do it no more. I don't want to hear that. He can still do it, but at the moment he's not doing it, and we need to sort that out. But I think a 4
is fair. Yeah, 4. Yeah, I agree with that. Mason Mount.
Mason Mount, I'm going to give a 6. I felt as though, especially in the first half, he was actually our best player. Even in the second half, he was United's best player overall. But just, of course, with the team around him not playing good enough, he also dropped in some moments. And yeah, I want to still see better from him. But yeah, much better than last week.
Yeah, I agree. 6. I would have given him a 7, but he didn't do much.
Yeah, no one can get 7.
I want to give him 7, but he's my man of the match. I think if there is a man of the match, I think amongst all of our players today, he did the most things well. Tidy on the ball, didn't give the ball much away. Defensively, he was cleaning up, but he didn't do anything above the ordinary. So I'll say 6, but best player today and my man of the match.
Yeah, it's hard because we're only talking about a 30-minute period out of 90 minutes. And I agree, like no players really excelled apart from in that period. In that period where we played well, he was the best player. Yeah. So I see what you're saying. I'd still probably 6 at best, maybe even a 5, because I just don't even really want any of them getting higher than 5s today because most of them were lower than that. Yeah. So I'm like the best player today because we were crap. For me, would have probably got a 5, but a 6, I can see why. I thought there was he's getting scapegoated. Like he is getting scapegoated. And the longer it goes on without him scoring or assisting, or the longer the midfield looks disjointed, when it didn't look as disjointed last year, when we're going for a transition, the more flack he's going to take, and I do feel it for him. But that's on Ten Hag. You brought this player in, you've got the plan, you've got to implement the plan. So, yeah, I'd probably say just about 6. Yeah.
Bruno started off the game so well. You know what I mean? He started off the game so well. That Rabona, good passes, good switches. But because he's our captain, I'm gonna mark him harsher. So I'm saying Bruno 3 because his levels dropped dramatically. When things weren't going well for him, the referee was giving poor calls, but you can't let that stuff affect you in a game, especially when you're the captain. You are the set piece. You are the level. You can't drop below a level that you want all your team to strive for or stay at. And I just think he had a poor game. After half time, the second half he was dreadful. But after that,
0 in that half.
Yeah, exactly. So he started the game maybe at 7, dropped now. So I'm 3. Terrible game.
Yeah, agreed.
I completely agree with 3, especially with that chance he missed. That is
missed our best chance of the game. 6 yards out.
And it wasn't just our best chance, it was a sitter. It was a chance I expect any of us here to be able to score. Exactly. And someone at Bruno's level should never, ever be missing those chances. And if he is going to miss that chance, he needs to make up for it. And he did the complete opposite. He played even worse after that chance. Yeah. So I think he's even lucky to get a 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. There's too much variation in his performance. For 20 minutes, he can play a 7. For 30 minutes, he can play a 5. And then for 15 minutes or something, he could play a 1 or a 2, you know? All right, let's quicken it up a little bit. Let's get to the front 3. Anthony.
1.
Facts.
1.
Could even,
Did nothing. Hit the post. But other than hitting the post, tell me one good thing he did today. He did nothing. Did nothing well. He can't beat his man. And at this point, I reckon this really is a waste of 90 mil. In my opinion, he does nothing well for the team. Yes, defensively, actually, let me take that back. Defensively, he puts in a shift. But we want him to now attack players, go at goal, score goals, assist goals, influence the game attacking-wise, and he just doesn't do that. He doesn't move me. 1, dreadful.
I'm going to say a 3. I think if Bruno's getting a 3, then we can't give
He was
Antony,
worse than Bruno.
It's terrible.
I just think...
He even got booked.
He did get booked, but I just think
Bruno.
he was unlucky to hit the post, but also his defensive work as well just gives him a 3. But either way, a 3 is poor. A 3 is poor. We can agree on a 2. We can shake it.
Middle ground of a 2. That shows you where we're at with Anthony today. Yeah. Absolutely diabolical. Awful. Marcus Rashford.
See, now to me, Marcus Rashford is a 1. Because he contributed absolutely nothing to the game. He missed the only chance he had, and apart from that, I don't remember him doing anything well. So he might as well have not been played. We might as well have played with 10 men, a 1 for.
If that, it could have been a 0.
1 did nothing today. When you're a striker, you need to give us something up top. Even if it's a snapshot, give us something. Other than that, he didn't do anything. You can't hold the ball up. And I know he's not a striker. But if you've been screaming that you want to play there, you say you can play there. So play there and show us something. But he's not done nothing. When Martial came on, he's able to hold the ball up and pop a ball off. And I'm not saying Martial is the greatest player, but when you play 9, you need to give us that sort of professionalism where you can get the ball, hold it up, play it to our wingers. And you weren't doing that. So what? 1. Terrible.
Agrees. I can't argue with that. Garnacho.
3 again for Garnacho. I feel a bit bad for him because I feel as though he really wants to play. He's got that hunger and that desire that you want from every player. But with his age and his maturity and his lack of discipline, both in attacking moments and defensive moments, he's just not really ready to start games, especially against Tottenham at the White Hart Lane. So 3 for me.
Yeah, do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think now we see that maybe he's just an impact player at the moment. He's not ready to be a starter. That is what we've seen so far. So next game, I'm not expecting him to start. So yeah, I think 3's fair.
Just really quickly on the subs, Martial, kind of NA, came on 10 minutes. Palestri should have won a penalty, by the way. I'm going to give Palestri a 6.
I'll give him 5.
5, I'll give it 5. I'm just trying to look for something, because do you know what I mean? But it's only, and I want him to start instead of Antony. You know what I mean? That looks like a penalty. And it is, I was offside. Yeah, I just give him a flat 5. The rest, Ericsson,
Nothing. Yeah.
NA.
Sancho though.
Oh, Sancho.
Yes.
Sancho.
I'll
Well,
give a 6. I'll give a 6 to Sancho. I thought he was actually decent, or maybe a 5.
I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.
5, guys.
I'll give him a 6. He came on and he actually did
It's a
go out
5.
players.
We want him to
Is it
start the
a
next
5?
game in that, but it's a 5. Nah, you think
I'm trying
6?
for him. I think he's been hard done by, to be fair. I thought he should have started today. He didn't. I trusted in Ten Hag, but ultimately he came on and he did more than Garnacho did. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna give him a 6. He did influence the game a little bit, but it needs to be better. Overall, as a team performance, we played dreadful and we can't really do anything else.
There you go, guys. Let us know if you agree or disagree with what the guys have had to say, but nothing to write home about, obviously, today in another poor performance for Man United. But this time it's ended in 0 points. Let's see if we can put it right against Forest at home next week. And then the next away game, Arsenal. Peace.